This is Hannibal from the HannibalTV.com. The highly controversial Crown Jewel 2019 event took place today in Saudi Arabia. The Saudi Arabian Sports Authority reportedly paid WWE $40 million to put on this event, where they had a women's match where the women had to wear clothes that went down to their wrists and all the way down to their boots. They were all covered up. They even had turtlenecks covering most of their necks and long baggy shirts that went down past their buttocks. This is because in Saudi Arabia, there's actually punishment for a lot of women that don't wear long cloaks and headscarves. It's policed differently in various parts of the country, but women are generally forced to cover up. There's a lot of sexism that goes on in the country and horrible domestic violence laws. Women who attempt to flee abusive spouse or family relationships can be arrested and returned to their family, for instance. Women that are put in prison for whatever reason, maybe they're dressing inappropriately, will only be allowed to exit into the care of a male relative, and if that male relative refuses to release them, they are forced to remain in prison until they reconcile with the relative or guardian. And for studying abroad, they also have to have consent of a male guardian if they're applying for a government scholarship, and in most cases, they will actually have to have a male guardian with them throughout this whole studying period. They also have very limited choice on who they could marry freely. It's usually arranged by their male guardian who they're going to marry. So I guess John Cena did the first Crown Jewel event but hasn't come back since. Sami Zayn is not even allowed into the country, apparently, according to reports, because of his Syrian heritage. Daniel Bryan, I guess, has refused to compete on these events, which I will commend him for. But I mean, they're crying in the ring, and I do have a lot of respect for Natalya. I actually trained with Natalya in the dungeon, but the sadness of the whole situation of the women there, particularly as it relates to domestic abuse, is just atrocious, and it tells you a lot about the kind of place Saudi Arabia is.